Drum roll, please. Good morning, everybody. It is 8 o'clock on the button. I am here on time. Are you? Today is Saturday. This is the day, 8 to 9 a.m. Eastern Time, a.m. Early birds and entrepreneurs, we're here to network, not unsell. I just said a double negative, I think. But our meeting is divided up into 3 to 4 parts. Maybe I'll make up my mind as the meeting progresses, but there are definitely 3 to 4 parts. And it is only an hour long, so I need to begin now. Whether you're here or not, and if you missed the beginning of the meeting, no big deal. I've recorded the first 10 minutes. And if you want your information recorded, you've got to tell me from now on. I'm not going to do it. But our meeting is divided seriously into 3 parts. And those 3 parts are a 10-minute presentation, a feature presentation. And I will tell you why you might want to do a 10-minute feature presentation in a little bit. We also have information that you're allowed to prepare ahead of time and inform us in 1 minute about you and your business. Then we have some Smart Connects. Those Smart Connects are only about 7 minutes long. Good morning, Rosalind. The meeting has started at 8 o'clock, whether anybody is here or not, because the first part of our meeting is 10-minute presentation. Don't worry, you didn't miss a thing because I'm recording my own 10-minute presentation. And the title of the presentation is Unselling versus Networking.
Okay.
That's going to be an interesting topic for a lot of people, or an interesting theme, how to unsell and to network possibly instead. So unselling versus network. But congratulations for coming here at 8:03 or 8:02.
8:02.
Laptop clock, 8:02 on your
It's at 8:02.
and my laptop is 8:03. I mean, my phone is 8:03. So
Yeah, 8:03 now.
maybe it just turned, right? That's the only thing that we're probably syncing is when we look on our phone. But I want to keep going with my 10-minute presentation since I start recording at 8 o'clock. And so you'll have to look at the recording later on YouTube. And you can always find that at omgtalk.com and click on YouTube. And it will be there after the meeting is through.
I'm going to give me 1 second. I'm going to turn off the stove.
Oh, I'm going to keep going, but you can come back because I'm still in the middle of my 10 minutes because I want it to be wrapped up by 8:10 to begin with some introductions, if it will. Maybe, hopefully it's not just you and I today because I know that there were 11 people that RSVP'd.
Oh,
and
wow.
Maybe they weren't just RSVPing just to be seen and not heard.
Okay.
I thought usually people want to be seen and heard, but maybe people just want to be seen and not heard. If a tree falls in the woods and it makes and no one's there to hear it, does it make a sound when it falls?
It makes a sound regardless.
So when a small business owner is unalignable goes into a Smart Connect and nobody's in the Smart Connect, are they delivering a speech?
They can deliver their speech.
Yes, they can, because
we
could put the speech on YouTube, but the tree in the woods, we could put on YouTube too. Go ahead and run if you'd like to. I'll still be here talking.
Yes.
I know that you might hear me through the kitchen or wherever.
I'm hearing everything.
But what I do want to keep focused on is how to deliver a speech when people are coming into the room and you're losing your train of thought. That takes quite training as well. But I do have 5 or 6 points. Oh, what I was actually going through was the 3 to 4 parts of our meeting, how our meeting is divided into. When I was mentioning introductions to inform in 1 minute, and if somebody has a question, there's a Q&A for 1 minute. So you have actually an opportunity to talk for up to 2 minutes, or maybe not you talking for 2 minutes, but you answering if there's some Q&A in the second minute. And then we have some smart connects that are only 7 minutes long. And that's just a little primer for the real one-to-one, which is hopefully longer than 7 minutes when you're doing your one-to-ones on a weekly basis. How often should you do one-to-ones? If you're a small business owner entrepreneur, on a weekly basis, not on a monthly basis. And then, of course, at the end of our meeting, we'll also have some 10-second feedback. I call it testimonials, feedback, love it or list it like the realtors do, or what'd you like about our meeting, or what did you learn about our meeting? Because God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. Hopefully you still have 2 ears and 1 mouth. And if somebody's going to, in that portion of the meeting, give us some testimonial or what they learned and what they liked, I'm going to let them talk for 5 minutes. I'm going to let them talk for 10 minutes. I'll let you talk for an hour if it's about a testimonial. But if it's about yourself, you only get 1 minute unless you make a request to give a 10-minute presentation. I'm still recording myself, by the way. So that's the structure of our meeting. So you know that from 8 to 9, you're out of here. Sorry if you can't stay to the full 9 o'clock. I hope everybody in the room can stay for the full hour, because this meeting is for you and I, not just for me. So let's get going. So the 10-minute presentation today is actually a very interesting one that I dreamt up about 5 minutes ago. No, maybe about an hour ago. I woke up in the middle of a dead sleep and decided with my pig that we should talk about this interesting topic called unselling versus networking. So there's unselling and networking. And what's that? Because I like all speeches, I test it with my wife and I say, does this make sense to you? And she goes, well, I don't understand the unselling part. And of course, you know, I knew what was going to happen in the forest when the tree fell and no one was there. I knew the story before you were going to hear the story. So unselling is, you have to break down that word un and selling. Un means not, and selling means, think of a used car salesman. And I'm thinking that nobody wants to be referred to as a used car salesman, but everybody probably should want to be a salesperson, because nothing happens in this world until something gets sold. But you probably want to be known for how you solve the problem and you save the day, more than that guy's a used car salesman. Nobody really wants to be that guy or that girl. So unselling is not selling. Versus the other side of the equation is networking. Now we're going to talk about networking, and we're really not going to talk about not selling, because, well, frankly, you know what selling is when you think of the image of a used car salesman. So I have 5 or 6 points that I want to go over today. What networking is all about and how you could do that better. And of course, they say that a good teacher is someone that also wants to learn. And the best way to learn is by teaching. So, hey, I'm also teaching myself at the same time, even if I came up with the speech all by myself. So the first concept is to join a weekly alignable alliance. And there are over 200 across North America. And a few of them are weekly on Alignable. There's over 200 Alignable alliances. The one that you're part of today is the Alignable Alliance of the Palm Beaches. And ours happens to meet on a weekly basis 14 different times, many of them in person in Florida, but 14 meetings. How many organizations do you know of, or do you go to, that meet 14 times a month? And do you go to all 14 times? I think I'm at almost 14 of them, because I'm running most of them. And a couple of them are virtual. So we've eliminated the geographic boundaries, maybe not the time zones, But good morning, Kush, as well. You're probably wondering, are you in the right meeting? You do recognize me, my voice, etc. But I am in the middle of my 10-minute presentation, which I am recording. So don't worry if you missed the first 5 or 7 minutes. You can catch it on YouTube at omgtalk.com. But we're going over, actually, I'll repeat for you as well, that the topic of this 10-minute presentation is the difference between unselling and network. And like you're probably thinking like my wife, I never heard of unselling as a word. What is that? And un means, if you remember in school, not. And selling means like a used car salesman. And nobody, I think, wants to be referred to as a used car salesman, but maybe somebody wants to be a brand new car salesman, or maybe wants to be just a salesman, because nothing ever gets sold until you come across some kind of a salesman. Maybe somebody would prefer a website or an AI to sell them, but I hate to break it to you, but you're still being sold, whether it's an AI or a salesman. But people want a process that's easy, and they want to feel like they're in control, and they want to be the buyer. And they want to buy when they want to buy, not when somebody else tells them that they need it. So I'll go back to the 5 or 6 points that I started to get into on networking, this side of the microphone, which is the opposite side of unselling and not selling. So the first thing I'm recommending here is to join a weekly alignable alliance that meets, of course, weekly. And there are over 200 alignable alliances, and you're now inside the Smart Connect of an alignable alliance of the Palm Beaches. So that's my first tip, to network and not unsell. The second tip is to prepare a 1-minute information. 1 minute to inform, 1 minute to teach. I thought of this today. I used to say educational nuggets. I used to say commercial. I used to say elevator pitch. We're going to ditch the pitch and ditch the commercial and ditch the elevation nugget. And I'm going to say, you just need to put it simply, 1 minute to inform and 1 minute to teach. And you'll also have 1 minute here of Q&A, where you're not talking for an extra minute, but you actually get to answer some Q&A. And good morning, Arnie. I keep getting interrupted in the middle of my 10-minute presentation because you guys did not show up at 8 o'clock in the morning on the dot. I could see by your hairstyle that you went to the finest salon in Boca Raton. Fantastic, Arnie. It looks lovely. You should put yourself on Plenty of Fish. Trust me, it'll work. People pay top dollar for that hairdo, I'm telling you. People pay $8 for that, and you got that for free. Just get well, anyway, I know you put a comb to it because it would have looked a lot different, like a Picasso. I bet. Number 2 is to prepare. I started to mention a 1 minute to inform or 1 minute to teach. So if you like to teach and inform, and you prepared a 1 minute, you're in the right place at the right time. We'll do that after my 10-minute, which I'm really past my 10 minutes, but I'm going to finish my 5 points and then we'll go, because I don't see 10 people here. So I'm going to finish them. Let's see. So number 3 is recognition. Now, recognition on Alignable, what's fascinating is they have these things called highly recommended businesses. You probably noticed that if you saw a profile on Alignable that was recommended 5 times, they earned a badge that said highly recommended. And then you could take that badge, make a copy of it, and if you have a storefront, you could put that badge on your store window, which is kind of cool because I just went to a physical therapist yesterday for my shoulder, what I'm leaning on, trying not to move it. And I was thinking that they could use one of these badges on their window and people would say, "What's that?" And then they could talk about it. And that business owner said, "I recognize you," when he pulled up his Alignable app and said, "I know your name looks familiar. I saw you on Alignable." But he doesn't really know how to use it, so the learning process might be a little bit more for him. But I did invite him to our meeting. So recognition is that highly that highly recommended badge that's on your profile if you have if you have 5 recommendations. So congratulations if anybody here, how many people here have 5 recommendations and already earned that highly recommended badge? And the way you could find it on your profile, congratulations, Kush and Rosalind. And maybe Arnie has it too, might not know it. But if you have 5 recommendations, she's looking at checking us on the right side of your profile. And as you scroll down, you'll see some recognition. Over the years, they all won't fit on there because toward the bottom of those badges, there's an actual link that says see more. And then I could see all my badges up until 2019. But I did start Alignable in 2018, and like most of you, I had no idea what Alignable was in store for. It didn't have Smart Connects back then in 2018. It was just a profile like LinkedIn and Facebook. But it was only geared towards small business owners, so it definitely had its uniqueness already. But I had no badges in 2018. I had no stinking badges. But in 2019, got my first badge, entered a contest on Alignable, and that was about storytelling. That was an interesting topic. I should ask Chuck or Alignable that they need to do a contest like that again, but I don't know if it's in their cards or their business model today, but that was a fun contest. And I actually have a link to that contest, the Wow Worthy contest, on my profile if you're perusing through it. So recognition, that is another way to network on Alignable as well. So think of Alignable as either a possible addition to your current networking or a replacement, dare I say. But keep in mind that everything I'm telling you is absolutely free. I didn't even mention anything that's paid for or premium. So the first one was a weekly attendance at an Alignable Alliance of the Palm Beaches, or any alliance across the country, or North America, or Canada. And then prepare a 1 minute to inform or teach. Number 3 is recognition. Number 4 tip to network versus unsell. Number 4 is, in my notes, let's see, sign up to speak for a 10-minute presentation when you come 3 times at a minimum. And so when you sign up to be a 10-minute presentation presenter, you're now networking, and you're going to inform us in a 10-minute presentation about what you do to solve people's dire problems. And that's how you're getting involved and becoming a leader. Number 5. Now I'm trying to read my handwriting with my 3-level glasses. Anybody here have glasses that are distance on top and computer in the middle and reading glasses on the bottom? That is really killing me here. Okay, so sign up to speak. Number 5. Number 5 is to take my pig. Henny Youngman is a old comic. He used to say, "Take my wife, please." I say, "Take my pig, please," and go lead in your city and volunteer to start a local meeting where you invite 1 business owner and grow it to 5 to 10 in that one place. And then give me your address, and I will send you another pink pig. I'll get it for you. I don't mind. I'll splurge the $8, and I will send you this pig, and you have to prevent people from hogging the time while building their wealth. You take the pig and enjoy that. Number 6, in addition to that, is to use the acronym FORM when you're doing one-to-ones or Smart Connects, which is family, occupation, recreation, money, is a little acronym to remind yourself of what kind of questions to ask people. But remember that the Smart Connects, you can go to at least 3 or 4 or 5 on Alignable for free and meet people randomly across North America. And they're only 7 minutes long, probably max. And that's nothing. That's just a taste of a one-to-one. So the real one-to-one should be at least an hour where you're not even doing any selling. So again, there's no unselling in the Smart Connect either. There's networking where you're informing and teaching. That's number 6. I'll leave you with a bonus. Here's number 7. on the profile or your profile or everybody's profile, there is how you got started. And everybody's profile, you have to scroll toward the bottom. You'll see a section that you filled out, or maybe you filled out, that says how you got started. In that section, I put how I learned about Toastmasters, my journey through Toastmasters, the couple of business industries that I was in, like 16 years in the portrait business and 26 years in the financial business, and a lot of trials and tribulations and faith in the middle. And that's like the shortest way to describe a lot of years and decades. But whatever you put in that area, how you got started, those are now your 7 tips on how to network, and all free, by the way, without even becoming a premium member of Alignable. There are perks to being a premium member, especially if you want to be an ambassador on Alignable. Did anybody leave? Or okay, my boxes just changed for a second. But so I want to inspire you this morning to, instead of unnetwork, to unnetwork, unsell. Instead of unsell, I want to inspire you to network with those 7 things. And thank you for joining me here at the Alignable Alliances of the Palm Beaches. And now we'll go into our second part of our meeting, which is introduction, where you're going to inform us or teach us. So you have 1 minute to inform or teach, and tell us in 1 minute. You don't get 2 minutes, you get 1 minute. Otherwise, the hog comes on and prevents you from hogging the time and building your wealth without hogging the time. The 1 minute after your 1 minute is deferred to Q&A if there is a lot of questions. There could be none, and then we get to save time and move on to our one-to-one. So why don't we go to Rosalind, since you were the